Hi, let me wish you all the best on this World Storytelling Day. There's a lot of stories going around the world at the moment, right? A lot of stories that are perhaps giving us some fears and worries, maybe even panic. But I'm taking this opportunity now to tell you a story that I hope will give you some joy, that will help you perhaps to feel you can break out of wherever you're feeling trapped at the moment. You know, we wanted to use this opportunity just to raise the awareness of story practice. Very soon, we're going to be setting up a dedicated website which finally will give people one place they can come to find out everything they want to know about story practice. We'll have there examples of the learning modules we've created and the tools that we have, things like the story web, story reordering, personal myths, story forum, and you'll be able to see what they are and where you can get these resources from and how you can use them. So look forward to that, and we'll let you know when that's happening. But one of the particular learning modules that we've created that we're hoping to really bring attention to is something called Node 5. Node 5 is the program that we've created which helps you to take the story web and then apply your story directly to your listener. That could be a potential client. It could be a member of your team. It could be someone that you're pitching to, a potential investor. It doesn't matter who it is, but whoever it is will have their own way of needing to hear your story. And if you can find what that is, then you will make a connection. Node 5 enables you to get your story and put the items into a different order, which is what the story web does. But then with Node 5, it makes sure that we really focus on how each of those elements in your story connect with what the listener needs to hear, with their interests and with their desires, their needs, what they're looking for. So look out for Node 5. I'm sure it can be of a lot of help to you. Well, I do have a story that I want to share, and those of you who've worked with me in the past will know that I love folk tales. Folk tales are what I bring even to the business context, and in them we find so much wisdom. So I have a folk tale for you, but part of my job, of course, is adapting that tale so it fits the situation in which I want to tell the story, in which I'm working. So I've adapted this story. It's from South America, and I hope it's a story that you'll not only enjoy, but as I've adapted it for this pretty unique time in our history, and the experience that we are all going through, I hope that it makes some connection with you. I hope it gives you some affirmation, some sense of aspiration, or just makes you feel good. So please leave some comments afterwards, and I'd love to read those and see how the story has touched you. So I think it's about time for me to start telling the story. This is my retelling, my reworking, told to you live in one take, because storytelling is a living art form, and it is the story of the Rainbow Phoenix. Long, long ago, all the birds of the world had no colors, apart from black and white and brown and gray. They were dull, but it meant they could hide in the shadows. However, the one thing they loved to see was the rainbow. The rainbow with its colors shining there in the sky. And oh, how they wished they could be like the rainbow. A lot of the time, the birds would take the petals from the flowers around them and rub them onto their bodies so that the colors would come off onto their heads and their chests and their wings and their tails. And the colors would be on their feathers, and all of a sudden they felt like they were really like the rainbow. But when the rain came, all the color was washed off, and those birds returned to being brown and white and gray and black, dull colors hidden in the shadows. Now it just so happened that one day the birds noticed after the rainfall that the rainbow was not looking the same. It had lost its vibrancy. In fact, it looked like there were cracks and holes in the rainbow. And they started to panic, thinking that the one joy that they had, the beautiful rainbow, was about to fall apart, that they would no longer be able to see the bright colors there above them. And they didn't know what to do. The rainbow seemed such a long way up there in the sky. And those birds were worried that they were going to lose this one great joy in their life. And they all went to bed with such sadness. But as they slept, each one of them had a dream. Each one of them had the same dream. In that dream, the bird saw itself standing on the branch, looking up at the broken rainbow and crying over the loss of its vibrancy and the eventual loss of its colors. But as the bird sat there on the branch, it saw something coming towards it. A bird with great wide wings that was flying out of the sun, a great shadow across that golden ball, coming down closer and closer to the forest. And each of the birds in their dreams saw that this was a phoenix, the rainbow phoenix. And it spoke, "Birds, I have come to gather you, for I know that you are great lovers of the rainbow. But the rainbow is in danger. The cockroaches have infested that rainbow, and they are biting into it and making it all fall apart. The rainbow will no longer be there if we do not do something together. Please, I have come to ask you to join me, to fly up with me to the rainbow, where we may combat those cockroaches together. I am the guardian of the rainbow, but I cannot do it alone. I need you. I need each of you to come and help me." Now, even though each of those birds had their own dream, and each of them shared the details of the dream, they each had their own response. Some of the birds said, "No, I cannot fly that high. How could I possibly help you with the rainbow?" Others said, But we have other things to take care of. Our children, our eggs, our nests. We cannot leave these things behind. How can we give you our time and energy?" And others said, "It's your job. You're the rainbow phoenix. You are the guardian. You should be making sure that the rainbow is protected, and now you have failed us." But other birds responded by saying, "Yes, I will help. Show me how I can fly so high. Take me with you. I want to save the rainbow, and I will do what I can to help." And in those dreams, some of the birds ignored the phoenix, turned their back on him, and dreamt that they got on with their daily lives, looking after their families, finding the food that they need. Quite reasonable. But others said, "No, we will come." And in their dreams, they saw themselves flying with the phoenix, who in his great wings seemed to create a wind that lifted them and took them higher and higher, higher than they'd ever been, right up into the sky, to the rainbow itself. And there those birds saw that what the rainbow phoenix had said was true, that it was covered with cockroaches. And so they all attacked those creatures, scratching and pecking and knocking them off their precious rainbow, until finally the rainbow was saved. "Thank you," said the rainbow phoenix. "You have saved the rainbow, and do not worry. Even though it is damaged now, it will recover, for we have rid it of the cockroaches." And all the birds cheered, and then found themselves flying down, 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 back to where they had been on those branches, and realized it was all a dream. Yet in the morning, when the birds woke up, they heard the rain pit-patting on the leaves. And as the rain gradually disappeared, the sun shone. And there in the sky was their rainbow. No longer with holes and cracks, but shining with its great vibrancy. And then all those birds, who in their dream had joined with the rainbow phoenix, stopped and stared, not at the rainbow, but at themselves. For they were covered in colors. The colors of the rainbow. It was as if they had been to the rainbow themselves, and now those colors had rubbed off on them as they had been saving the rainbow from the cockroaches. There was red on one bird's head, purple on another's wings, yellow on another's tail. Colors covering all of those birds that had dreamt they had gone with the phoenix. And those birds who had said no, those who had refused, they remained black and brown and white and grey. And they could hide in the shadows, whilst the others would stand strong in their colours and their vibrancy. And so now, if you look at the birds today, well, you'll be able to tell which were the ones that said no and which were the ones that said yes. Which were the ones who saw the immediate needs and those that saw what needed doing that was bigger than their own needs. The ones that were able to change. And that's the story I want to tell today on World Storytelling Day. My adaptation for today of the Rainbow Phoenix.